What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. The other night, I saw a certain content creator. He was doing. I don't remember if it was a live he was doing or it's a video he was doing, but he was comparing putting in work on the streets to putting in work in prison. Now, with all due respect, only someone who's never been in the joint and put in work in the joint would ever make that comparison. Only in their mind, because they don't have an understanding of what it is and what it takes to put in work in jail. Only somebody that doesn't have that type of understanding would even put them in the same category. Now, I want to refresh people's memories. I started going to jail at 13. By 15, I was in the California Youth Authority. At 19, I was facing the death penalty. Those things all occurred because I was running around in the streets. I was acting a fool. I was not giving a fuck. Right? And how many times have we heard, those of us especially been in the joint, you got all these dudes that were supposedly big time killers and put in work on the streets, and they came to the joint and got in a wreck pretty damn fast. It's a different mentality, a different mindset. You see kids, children on the streets picking up a gun or a knife and putting in work. That's easy. It's very easy. It's senseless, but it's easy. You go to the joint, your strongest muscle is your brain. A lot of dudes who were, making a name for themselves on the streets weren't able to do the same behind the walls. It takes a different mentality. Behind the walls, you don't have a gun. And you ain't going to be walking around the yard drunk to give you that motherfucking liquid courage. You do that, you're done. No. In the joint, it's different. You're living under a different set of rules, a different mentality. And every time you pull that strap out in the joint, you pull that piece out, it's a bunch of gun towers ready to blow your fucking head off. There's a good chance, too, that the guy you're moving on has a knife as good or maybe better than the one you have. And everybody's watching, the whole yard. You get to judge what you do in that moment and how you do it. You don't do that on the streets. You pick up your strap, get in your car, your bike, whatever, however you plan on doing it. You head somewhere, you put in work, boom, 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 boom. It's quick, it's easy, it's done, and then you bounce. Not in the joint. In the joint, there's going to be plotting and preparation. You're dealing with a man in hand-to-hand combat. And like I said, he's probably strapped too. And you know the possibility of getting blown away. See, like right now, the CDC is acting different. They're not shooting the way they used to shoot in the 90s. But there's still that chance. And keeping it real, you could be doing all the right things in the joint, but you offended the wrong person without even knowing it. And there you are in the helicopter. Whether you live or die is up to God. You don't have to deal with that on the streets. Prison is a mental game. The conclusion will be physical. But the whole buildup is mental. It always trips me out because this isn't the first time I've heard somebody say that, right? bring that up. Oh, on the streets this, on the streets that. Well, let me tell you something. The baddest vato in your neighborhood that's never been to the joint, putting in all that work, when he gets to the joint, he's going to shut his mouth, he's going to listen, and he's going to learn. Now do the flip of that. The vato in the joint, putting in all that work, building that reputation. And then he gets out and he pulls up in your neighborhood. Who you going to listen to first? That guy? Or the guy that's running around like a maniac just shooting shit? We all know. Prison is a place that is brutal. It allows you to see who you really are as a man. And I could hear that, well, you this and you that. Again, I never got in trouble, never made a bad call. I wish I would have never gone to prison. The guys that have never gone to prison and feel this inferiority complex, stop it. Stop it. You were able to live a life, have children, and be a part of their lives, eh? Prison is full of men. They're not going to say it. They can't. But they wish they had another opportunity. Are there some that would get out and fuck it off immediately? Of course. But the majority would get out and want to live a life. Figure out how to be successful out here. Enjoy a woman. Enjoy great food. Great sex. Like all the things that bring us joy and pleasure out here, none of that is in there. You got men in there that have been there 40 years, 50 years, 30 years, 20 years for something they did as a teenager. Could be 16, could be 18, could be 19. And they had the mindset that a lot of us had, that there was no value in nothing but the neighborhood. And they went in there and they're putting in work. But I promise you, the majority of them wish they were out here. Everyone put in work in order to get to the joint. Some continue. But I just wanted to do the video, and I don't see how in any form or fashion. And I would like ex-convicts to speak on this in the comments. How do you feel about someone who's never been to the joint comparing putting in work on the streets to putting in work on the yard? Especially a level 4 yard. But any yard, man. You go to the joint and you're putting in work, you're picking up ain't no fist fighting putting in no work. That'll get you in trouble. I'm talking about bringing that steel out and punching it into somebody over and over while the whole fucking yard is watching you, all the cops. That's different. It's ugly. There's a lot of dudes that get off on it in there. Anyways, that's my video for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.